We have to start with the result of the day. Princeton 59, Arizona 55, almost 35 years ago to the day when 15 seed Santa Clara with Steve Nash upset 2 seed Arizona on the opening Thursday of the NCAAs. Princeton goes out and does it. Even more poetic than that, it does it months removed from legendary Princeton coach Pete Carrill's death. The late, great Pete Carrill. Remember, he upset reigning champs UCLA in 96, the last year he coached, and one of his former players who was in that game, Mitch Henderson, he's the coach. Amazing, amazing stuff. Arizona's loss marks the, by the way, in real time here, I'm told tip times are coming in the next 5 minutes. All right. So be aware of that. If you're watching on YouTube, tip times are coming out. In fact, I told one staff that I would let them know. So I'm doing that right now, and then we'll get to the rest of the game. Sorry. This is live stuff. Okay. So Boone, give me your thoughts. I got a few notes on this. It was a phenomenal watch in terms of what Princeton was able to do in shutting Arizona down. I mean, Arizona is now the first team to ever lose to a 15 seed twice, and I got some other not so great notes for Zona.
Crazy.
Your thoughts on what you saw happen out there in Sacramento? Obviously, the biggest result of the day.
Wild stuff. Great stuff from Princeton. 15 seed over a 2 seed. It's the 11th time in NCAA tournament history a 15 seed has taken down a 2. 15 has beaten a 2 in 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments, I believe. Each of the last 2 advanced to the Sweet 16. Of course, last year, that was St. Peter's. The Peacocks taking down Kentucky, going to the Sweet 16. As you noted, Arizona is the first school to lose twice as a number 2 seed to 15 seeds in the NCAA tournament. That is not history that you would like to make. It's a really sour way to end the season. Really liked Arizona coming into the NCAA tournament. Thought they were clearly kind of the crown jewel of the Pac-12, especially with UCLA losing Jalen Clark. It's just a bummer. It's a bummer, but I think it did not feel in any way like some sort of fluke. Princeton was the better team. Arizona had some warts that popped out throughout this game, some roster things that we've seen throughout the season that maybe, have popped up from time to time, but they were able to figure things out for the most part. But Norlander, 40-minute game. Anything can happen. One team has to win. One team has to lose. Arizona loses. Princeton advances. Princeton's first win since 1998 in the NCAA tournament. It's fantastic.
Yeah, how about that? Back then in 98, they won in Hartford, and they beat UNLV. Princeton was a 5 seed in 98. Yes, a 5 seed over number 12 UNLV. This is the first time a 15 has won 3 years in a row in tournament history. Arizona played arguably its worst game of the season. Now, a lot of that was Princeton's doing. Princeton's physicality won out majorly. Tigers had 6 blocks. Arizona had 1. Tubelis had 22, but Princeton just, you could tell with about 5 minutes ago, I even tweeted it out, man, sometimes these games, there's something that comes across the TV screen and you can hear it in the crowd. You can watch it as it's playing out. There was starting to, not that it was a guarantee in that moment, but it started to feel like, hot damn, is Princeton going to do it? And there's something about an Ivy League team winning. I don't know. It's sometimes, for whatever reason, it seems to give these upsets a little more juice. We got to feel great for the plucky underdog, the folks that went to, that are at Princeton and have graduated from Princeton. Some great. I mean, the hedge fund manager crowd shots that were going down in Sacramento were amazing. Arizona did not score for the final 4 minutes and 43 seconds, man. It was the 5th time that Arizona lost to a team seeded 13th or worse. There's no other team that has even 4 of those losses in tournament history. Mitch Henderson and that staff, credit to just an outstanding game prep, man. Princeton made Arizona look JV. Princeton, let me make sure I get this box right. The box here is Princeton was 4 of 25. Yes. Princeton shot 5 foul shots, was 4 of 25 from 3-point range, and won the game against a 2 seed. Unbelievable. Only 1 player in double figures, man. Just tremendous stuff. And as many people noted, it's the second time in as many years that a second-seeded team with a Wildcats moniker has lost to a 15-seeded team from Jersey. Kentucky Wildcats to St. Peter's last season. Now we have the Arizona Wildcats going down to the Princeton Tigers, man. Just something else. Something else. By the way, Yeah, I got this note from CBS Sports research with the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 seed. Arizona's the only one to do that. Going back to seeding back in 79, the 15 is Santa Clara and Princeton. The 14 is ETSU in 92. I had a thought flash across my mind. This is the Arizona I grew up with. And it wasn't like a happy thought, but growing up loving the tournament, it was highly seeded Arizona teams getting picked off. They lost to 13s in 99, Oklahoma, and then they lost, remember Buffalo, Nate Oates, that was 2018. In 95, they lost to 12 seed Miami, Ohio, and they've lost to 11 seeds Wichita State and Xavier in recent seasons there. So credit to Princeton. That is some awesome stuff. We have a Tiger on Tiger matchup. We'll get to Missouri in just a second, but one of those two teams will break on through to the second weekend there. And Princeton gives us here. My thing is between this and Furman's going to be next. Like we've had some stinkers and we had a couple close ones, but you get even one of those, the day's made. The day is made. You get at least one of these awesome endings or huge upsets, KB. It's just it makes up for anything else. Any other thoughts on Tigers Wildcats before we move on? I'll take anything you got.
No, the next result that we're going to get to is Furman over Virginia. Like that would be a good result on a normal day, but Princeton over Arizona is like a once in a couple years thing. So yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, we have a ton of stuff to get to, so I won't stop you.
I'm not going to muzzle you, but yes, we are trying to make this an efficient pod because we got some late nights here. We will also want to turn this around. And we're going to talk plenty more on Princeton here because, hey, they're moving along. First Ivy League team. This isn't even in my notes. Off my top of my head, I believe the last Ivy League team to win. Man, I need this sound bite in my board too. How did Yale out-rebound Baylor? Remember that? I think that was 2016. I think Yale over Baylor was the last Ivy League upset in the NCAA tournament. Princeton gets it done. Arizona goes home. Tommy Lloyd, 61 wins through 2 seasons, the most of any in men's D1 coaching history. But 1 seed last year, didn't get to the Final Four. 2 seed this year, doesn't even get to the second round. So some conflicted feelings for Arizona fans these days. Furman gave us the most frenzied finish of the day. Furman. We're going to talk about that right after this break. Nada, do what you got to do, buddy.